I received a call in the dead of night telling me my only daughter was clinging to life in the ICU of a fancy European ski resort after a massive stroke hit her out of nowhere during what was supposed to be a romantic getaway. I dropped everything, grabbed my go bag like I had 100 times in my military days, and hopped the first flight across the Atlantic to get to her side. When I stepped into that stark, beeping room, she was all alone. Tubes snaking everywhere, machines keeping her alive. Her husband, the slick startup founder who'd sworn to protect her, was nowhere to be found because he was up in a private jet, clinking champagne glasses with influencers, celebrating some so-called major funding round. He had no clue that his real mission-critical deal was with me, and the terms we'd agreed on were about to hit him with the force of a precision strike. What I did next didn't just take his money. It leveled his entire fake empire in under an hour. As a retired military colonel who'd spent decades assessing threats, planning ops, and neutralizing dangers, I orchestrated the whole takedown right from that hospital waiting room. Before I dive into how a battle-hardened vet dismantled a fraud from a folding chair, hit that like button if you believe a father's love is the ultimate weapon. Subscribe for more stories of justice served cold. And drop a comment with where you're tuning in from. Let's see how far this reaches. If you've ever felt that burning rage when someone hurts the people you love, or if you've dreamed of the perfect payback against a betrayer who thinks they're untouchable, then strap in. This story's going to hit you right in the gut. It's not just revenge. It's a masterclass in strategy, patience, and striking when the iron's hot. Stick around to the end, because the satisfaction here is next level. All right, let's roll into it. The first tremor hit 2 days before the full quake. It came through my laptop screen. A faint signal I almost brushed off as standard dad worry. I was in my cabin up in the Rockies, the place feeling too damn big since my wife Maria passed. Those mountains stood sentinel outside my window, solid and unyielding, a reminder of what real strength looks like. On the screen, my daughter Sophia's face was too bright. Her smile stretched a little too thin. She was calling from a balcony at the resort. Snow-capped peaks and crisp alpine air, painting a picture-perfect backdrop behind her. "It's amazing, Dad," she said, her voice cutting through the wind. "Alex arranged all this. It's a work trip, but he made sure we got the penthouse suite with the best view. He's closing a huge funding round soon." I nodded, but I was watching her eyes, not the scenery. They kept flicking left, just off frame. A nervous tick I hadn't seen since she was a kid trying to explain a broken window. "That's great, Mija. Is he there?" "Getting ready," she said, and there was that split-second hesitation. "Big meeting on a jet later, to wow the investors." Right then, his voice cut in from off-screen, sharp and dismissive. "Sophia, still chatting with your old man? That jet Wi-Fi's costing a fortune. Besides, colonels and high-stakes tech don't mix. Tell him we'll call when there's real news." A shadow crossed Sophia's face before she forced the smile back. "Gotta go, Dad. Alex is waiting. Love you." The screen went black, leaving me staring at my own furrowed brow in the reflection. "Colonel." The word didn't sting as much as what it revealed. Alex saw me as a relic, a guy from a bygone era who couldn't grasp his digital wizardry. He was dead wrong. Threats are timeless. They don't care about apps or algorithms. It's about human nature, greed, hubris. And in that call, I heard the faint echo of trouble. In her tense voice, that subtle vibe something was off. Was the first crack in a foundation about to shatter? I leaned back in my old leather armchair. The one Maria always said made me look like a general plotting his next move. My eyes landed on a silver-framed photo on the mantle. Sophia's wedding 3 years back. She was glowing, gazing at Alex with that absolute trust only a daughter in love can have. Alex was grinning too, a polished, camera-ready smile that screamed perfect husband. It was the same grin he'd flashed a year ago right here in this room. He'd stood where the afternoon light now slanted in, holding a tablet glowing with upward trending charts. He wasn't pitching as a son-in-law asking for a favor. He was the visionary granting an opportunity. His startup, Apex Ventures, was going to disrupt the fintech space, a paradigm shift in mobile banking. Words poured out of him, slick and rehearsed, a flood of buzzwords, meant to make an old soldier feel outgunned. User acquisition costs are negligible compared to lifetime value. "Roberto," he called me by my first name, not sir or father-in-law, like always when he wanted something. We're not just moving money. We're building a seamless ecosystem. I'd spent 40 years in the military, from Vietnam patrols to Gulf War command posts, auditing risks that could cost lives. My job was listening to hotshots like him, spin tails and spotting the fatal flaw buried under the jargon. Instinct screamed Apex was a house of cards on shaky ground. Numbers too clean. Growth projections too aggressive. But my daughter was smitten. She sat beside him, hand on his arm, looking at me with pleading eyes that said, "Please, believe in him like I do." Against every tactical bone in my body, I chose her. "All right, Alex," I said slowly. "I'll front the 750,000 in seed capital you need." Sophia's face lit up and Alex's smile widened. He reached to shake my hand, but I held up a finger. "One condition. We're not doing this as a straight investment. My JAG buddy will draw it up as a secured convertible loan." Alex's grin faltered for a beat. "A secured loan, Roberto? This is family." "Exactly," I replied, tone leaving no room for debate. "And family covers its flanks. This loan's backed by your personal assets and your majority stake in Apex. Think of it as standard. OPSEC, a safety net." He and Sophia swapped a glance, the kind that said, "Let the old colonel have his paperwork." They saw it as quirky, a holdover from analog days. They didn't get it. I wasn't just cutting a check. I was laying a minefield, building a fallback position, crafting a legal kill switch with surgical care, praying I'd never trigger it. That document, filed away with my lawyer, was the real investment, an insurance policy against a truth I hoped stayed buried. In the months after, red flags started popping like tripwires. I'd see Sophia's social media posts, a new Lamborghini in their Silicon Valley driveway, weekend jaunts to Vegas in a chartered plane, $1,000 scotch on a random Wednesday. That wasn't the lean grind of a startup burning seed money wisely. That was a guy living like he'd already won the war. When I'd probe gently, Sophia's answers came scripted, laced with that condescending edge, like she was quoting Alex's playbook. "Dad, you don't get the culture here. You gotta project success to attract it. It's all about optics." I try explaining burn rate, fiscal discipline. Optics don't fund payroll. "Sophia, they don't build code. They're just smoke and mirrors." "It's not smoke, Dad. It's marketing," she'd snap, voice tight with frustration. "Alex knows what he's doing. The next round's right around the corner." Every talk left a bitter taste. My lifetime spotting ops going south, identifying weak links in the chain of command, it was all being dismissed as an old-timer's ramblings. I saw classic overreach, reckless disregard for resources that always ended in collapse. But I was pinned down. Push harder, and I'd risk alienating her, becoming the meddling colonel they already whispered about. So I held fire, chose family truce over financial airstrike, watched from the sidelines as they burned through my money on a fantasy. That choice gnawed at me. Each happy photo she sent was a reminder of the briefing I didn't give, the warning I didn't hammer home. I'd spent a career advising commands on averting disasters, but failed to shield my own blood from the one brewing in her home. The ground under her was unstable, and I knew it, did nothing. That silent failure, that call to stand down, was the last quiet breath before the storm hit. I pulled away from the blank screen. The cabin's silence felt heavier now. My gaze drifted back to the mantle photo, Sophia's wedding day. Her in white, eyes full of pure faith. Alex smiling that fairy tale husband grin. It was the same one he'd worn a year ago, standing on Maria's favorite rug. Not in a tux, but tech bro casual, cashmere sweater, designer jeans. Not holding my daughter's hand, but a tablet beaming those charts. Not as a son-in-law seeking help, but a disruptor offering a slot. Apex Ventures would revolutionize everything. He said, synergy, scalability, first mover advantage. Painted a future where his app was on every phone. A fluid ecosystem for the new gen. 40 years in uniform, I'd sat in bunkers and briefings hearing guys like him. As a risk assessor in special ops, my role was piercing the polish to find foundation cracks. Gut yelled the tablet's numbers were too perfect, projections pie in the sky. He had all the right answers, zero substance. I was set to deliver a firm. No when I glanced past him to Sophia. She perched, on the couch edge, hands clasped, eyes shining with pride. She didn't see the flawed model. She saw her brilliant man. Her whole posture begged, "Dad, please, trust him like I do." In that instant, I wasn't Colonel Roberto anymore. I was a dad wanting that light in her eyes to stay lit as long as possible. A dad not wanting to be the outdated brass blocking her husband's dream. So, against the instincts that had kept me alive through hell, I made the call. Fine, Alex. I'll provide the $750 in seed. Sophia beamed, hugged me tight. Alex's smile broadened, triumph flashing in his eyes. He extended his hand to seal it, but I raised that finger. Condition stance. Not an investment. Secured loan. His smile dipped. Secured, Roberto? Family formality. Precisely, I shot back, voice ironclad. Family guards its own. Loans collateralized by your personal holdings, including majority Apex shares. Call it a contingency, like any good battle plan. They exchanged that quick look. I knew their thoughts, humoring the cautious vet with fancy papers. They missed the teeth in the clauses. Didn't see the doc wasn't just a contract. It was a contingency op. They signed a week later, eyes on the big check. Ignored the fine print on defaults, fiduciary breaches, asset misrep. They saw cash. I saw a tripwire, calibrated to stay dormant unless poked. I dubbed it my insurance policy, an investment not in his startup, but in a truth I prayed never surfaced. The post-signature months were a slow drip of intel gone bad. I'd ring Sophia weekly, sometimes slip in Apex questions. If Alex was around, he'd grab the phone, voice booming fake enthusiasm. We're on the cusp, Roberto. Words always vague, always teasing. Deals about to close, metrics exploding. Always future tense, never now. When I'd push for specifics, peek at current books, he'd chuckle it off. Can't dive in, Roberto. NDAs, you know the drill. Delicate phase. I knew the drill all right. It was stalling tactics. Meanwhile, lifestyle proof was blatant. That Lumbo popped up in a post, silver bullet in their drive. Then a ski weekend snap, them laughing in a hot tub, peeks behind. Saw a new Rolex on his wrist in one pic, pricier than my first Humvee. This wasn't frugal founder mode stretching every dollar. This was a man spending what wasn't his. I finally broached it on a call with Sophia, framing it as concern. Mija, that's a hell of a car. But a Lumbo like that's a big outlay for a pre-launch startup. Finance is solid. Pause, then her defensive snap. Dad, you just don't understand startups now. Sounded rehearsed. Project success to draw it in, optics matter. When investors see Alex in a Lumbo, they don't see expense. They see a winner worth betting on. Cold knot in my gut. Sophia, I've evaluated risks for ops worth billions. Optics don't pay coders, don't secure servers. They're illusion. Numbers gotta add up sometime. And they will, she said, voice pitching high with irritation. Alex knows. Trust him. Trust me. There it was, the ultimatum. Question her husband's judgment, risk a rift. Or shut up and watch them charge toward the cliff. My colonel brain screamed. Textbook death spiral, burning capital with zero regard. Extravagance wasn't confidence. It was desperation's mask. But my dad heart told another tale. Saw a loyal daughter staking her dreams on this man. Attacking him hit her. I'd become the villain, the jealous brass envious of his son-in-law's rise. I'd lost Maria. Couldn't bear silence with my only child. So I chose. Okay, Mija. Words tasted like ash. I get it. I trust you. Hung up, stared at the unshakable mountains. I'd taught her honesty, integrity her whole life. Yet I'd just endorsed a lie. Gave green light to fantasy because I feared truth's fallout. That choice sank deep, a heavy regret. I didn't know it then, but my silence was the last fuel Alex needed. I'd ignored the intel, cleared him to march straight into the ambush. The phone pierced the mountain night at 0317. A harsh digital screech for unknown numbers. Heart already pounding, I squinted at the screen, European code. For a wild second, thought it was Sophia apologizing for the tense call. But this was from way beyond a misunderstanding. Answered, voice thick with sleep. This Colonel Roberto? The voice was young. Female, frayed with. Panic cracking under strain she. Wasn't built. 4. Speaking. Who's this? I'm Lena, Sophia's colleague on the design project here. She took a shaky breath, words tumbling. Sir, there's been an incident. We were at a client dinner, and Sophia just collapsed. Ambulance came. Docs say massive stroke. She's in emergency surgery at the main hospital now. World tilted. Walls receded, floor dropped. Cold nausea wave crashed. My daughter, my Sophia, under the knife. Words didn't compute, just cruel noise. A lesser man might have dropped the phone, screamed, cursed. My training didn't allow it. As Lena babbled on, panic buzzing in my ear, a switch flipped. The terrified dad part retreated, locked behind steel. The colonel who'd managed catastrophic risks for 40 years took command. Cold, efficient, logical, no panic, just data assessment, protocol initiation. Left hand held the phone steady as granite. Right reached, flipped open my bedside laptop, powered up. Blue glow bathed the dark room. And I've been trying to reach her husband, Lena said, voice cracking. Called Alex a dozen times, straight to voicemail. Hospital needs family. Got your number from Sophia's emergency contacts. My mind logged her words as another variable. Spouse unreachable. Implication, I'm sole contact. Action, immediate boots on ground. Lena, I said, voice calm, detached, like it belonged to someone else. You did right. Surgeon's name if you have it? Dr. Moreau, she said. Head of neuro. They say he's the best. Flight at 07:15, lands 11:30 local. Click confirm purchase, card on file. Email pinged instantly. All right, Lena. Wheels up in 4 hours. I'll be there by lunch. One thing. Head to surgical waiting, find a nurse. Tell him her father's en route, and I authorize all procedures needed. Copy. Yes, sir. Relief flooded her tone. An officer in charge now. Ended the call. Set the phone down gentle. House silent again, but command center silent. Fear still there. Roaring beast behind that door, but not in control. It was fuel now. Started packing. No time for grief, only action. The flight was a sealed tube of recycled air and quiet misery, hurtling through starless black. Around me, passengers dozed, heads lolling. Sleep was a luxury denied. I sat staring at my phone's dark screen, the one bright spot in my tight world. Thumb, on autopilot. Hit Alex's contact photo. Him and Sophia on a yacht. Tanned, smiling. Perfect couple, perfect lie. Pressed call for the 10th time. Same drill. Rings, click to voicemail. Then his smooth, polished voice. Bloated with fake importance that set my teeth on edge. Hey, you've reached. Alex. Can't take your call right now. Probably sealing a deal or changing the game. You know how it is. Leave a message. I'll hit you back. Call ended. Set the phone down, his cocky words hanging rotten in the quiet cabin. Sealing a deal. Phrase lingered, false as fool's gold. My mind, a worry engine, pictured Sophia on an op table in strangers' hands. Saw sterile lights, masked faces, gleaming tools. Every protective fiber screamed silent terror, a physical ache. Chest-crushing weight making breaths hard. Mingled with that fear, a new emotion rose like an Arctic tide. Rage, not hot explosion, but deep glacial fury. Where was he? The man who'd stood before me vowing to shield her? What deal trumped his wife's life? A true operator, a guy on the brink of breakthrough, is never dark. Has aides, backups. Phone's a lifeline, not accessory. Alex's message wasn't busy exec. It was poser playing one. Stared out the thick little window into endless dark. Ignored red flags weren't flags anymore. Sirens howling in memory. Lumbo, jaunts, vague spins, all part of the charade. The voicemail guy was the same who'd sold me smoke in my cabin. Not sealing deals, just peddling stories. And Sophia, my fierce, trusting Sophia, paid the price. Alone in a hospital while her husband played mogul. Fear for her fused with fury at him, hardening into something sharp, focused. Mission wasn't just her bedside anymore. Secondary objective crystallized from pain and anger's dark brew. Needed to uncover Alex's hide. Expose the truth he desperately dodged. Lifted the phone, dialed again. Voicemail. Same empty promise, sealing a deal. Whispered to myself in the dark. Words weren't just annoying, they were guilt's confession. And I, the relic he'd dismissed, flew across the ocean to conduct the audit. The hospital was a hive of hushed urgency. Air thick with antiseptic and fear. Found the surgeon, Dr. Moreau, in a windowless office. He looked a decade older from the hours, eyes weary behind specs. Spoke low, tired, breaking down the op, clot, rupture, pressure. They drained it, stabilized her, but induced coma for swelling. Next 48 critical, he said. Thanked him, voice distant, hollow. Nurse led me to ICU. Pushed a heavy door. World shrank to one room. Only sounds, ventilator's rhythmic hiss, Heart monitor's steady electronic beep. There, tangled in tubes and wires, was Sophia, impossibly small in the big bed, face pale against white pillow, bandage wrapped round her head. My vibrant daughter reduced to fragile stillness. Wave of utter helplessness slammed me. Wanted to rage, smash, roar at the unfairness. But what crushed hardest, stole my breath, was the raw fact she was alone. Chair by her bed empty. Silence where her husband should be was the loudest sound. Right then, phone buzzed in my pocket. Text from unknown, Lena, Sophia's colleague. Opened it. Photo blazed bright, searing my eyes. Alex on a private jet's plush seat, sun through clouds behind. Champagne flute raised, head back laughing. Surrounded by sharp-dressed types and models. King celebrating conquest. Under the photo, thought you should know where his meeting was. In that instant, something shifted. Roaring chaotic dad pain stilled. Didn't vanish, solidified, cooled, diamond hard resolve. The part of me that had analyzed failures. Predicted betrayals, calculated fallout locked in. Roberto the worried father stepped aside. Colonel Roberto, threat neutralizer, took point. Rage wasn't loud. It was a cool, silent engine just starting to hum. Pulled the empty visitor chair to her bedside. Sat, set my go bag down, pulled out my laptop. Opened it on my lap. Soft click echoed in the quiet as screen glowed cold on my face. Plan formed. Not vengeance, correction. Methodical, systematic, total. First call wasn't to kin or buddy for comfort. No one else for that. Only one for action. Checked phone clock. Nearly 1300 local, 1700 home. My jag pal, Major Ellis, still at his desk. Dialed his direct. Answered second ring, voice steady, familiar. Colonel, heard about Sophia, my aide saw the flight booking. Was about to reach out. Whatever you need. No time for sympathy. Emotions were ammo I couldn't waste. Ellis, I said, voice flat as steel. Activate the Alex file. Want it primed in 12 mics. Brief pause, not hesitation, professional mind shifting gears. Accessing locked compartment. Roger that, sir. Opening the encrypted drive now. On standby all night. The Alex file was a term I'd hoped stayed archived. You don't spend 40 years assessing risks for billion-dollar ops without applying at home. When I loaned Alex that $750, I didn't just hand cash. I opened a dossier. Instinct, habit I couldn't shake. Weeks after signing. Used old intel contacts in credit and corp espionage to quietly build Alex's full profile. Not malice, due diligence. File held as credit history, background check, copies of financials he'd shown me. Confidential risk assessment on my own son-in-law. My insurance, stashed on secure server. Silent testament to doubt I denied even to myself. Prayed it'd gather digital dust. Now it was my arsenal. Laptop on hospital Wi-Fi. Ellis's face popped on secure video. His wood-paneled office, fortress of law books and order. Me in sterile ICU wait. Sophia's heart beep a grim metronome. Worlds apart, two old warriors prepping for engagement. Sending you the quarterly reports Alex emailed last month, I said low. Claimed steady growth. Didn't want to scrutinize then. Incoming now, Ellis said, eyes flicking to another screen. Got him open. Page 3. Cash flow. Navigated same. Look at line 2, I said, finger tracing my screen. Listed $800K in prepaid service contracts. Counting unearned money as current flow. That's not revenue. Ellis, liability. Inflating the books artificially. Classic smoke. Ellis silent a beat, legal brain processing. Fraudulent misrep, he murmured. Direct breach of Section 4, Clause B, accurate financial reporting. Press on. Hours we worked, focused trance. He the legal hammer. Me the intel scalpel. Guided him through Alex's creative accounting maze. Pull corp expense reports last 6 months. Cross-ref with Sophia's socials. Typing frenzy his end. Good lord, he said after a minute. 10K charge at a Geneva jeweler under client entertainment. Sophia posted a new diamond necklace next day. Keep going, a recurring monthly for cloud software matching. A Lumbo lease payment. And there, I said, eyes locked on a fat charge 3 days back. 50K to a private jet charter firm. Description, mobile board summit and investor meet. Ellis looked up from papers, face grim on my screen. The jet party, he said. Not just my money funding his Playboy life. I said, fury cold in my chest like dry ice. Used it for fraud, and logged it all. Built his own cage, Ellis. We just locked the door. Uncovering the jet party expense was the loose thread. And as any vet who's spent a life picking apart enemy deceptions will tell you, find a thread, you pull. Next hours, with Sophia's heart beep our soundtrack. Ellis and I yanked, unraveling Alex's whole deceit tapestry. My 750 investment the starting point. From his office, Ellis accessed Apex's corp bank statements. Loan agreement gave audit rights. Shared screen. I scanned number columns, mind sifting patterns I knew I'd find. Didn't take long. My wire transfer cleared 10 months back. What followed? Fraud masterclass. No big payouts to dev firms. No major spends on servers or security. Payroll laughable. Alex and junior aides. Money didn't build a company. Funded fantasy. Ellis, look at transfer 2 days post-investment. $30K straight to Amex. Paper rustle his end. Cross-checking Alex's personal credit from the file now. Those 30 matches platinum balance that month exactly. Paid personal debt. And on it went. We trailed the money. Mapped not business, but one man's bottomless vanity. 20K to Palo Alto dealer, Lumbo down payment. 70K to luxury travel agency. Used corp account as piggy bank, masking splurges and jaunts as biz costs. My funds, meant for her future, paid his suits, 5 stars. Deeper we dug, uglier question formed. If money not to company, what was Apex really? Ellis pulled legal access for patents. Trademarks, proprietary code filings tied to it. Search came up empty. Nothing, no IP, no unique tech, just glossy site and logo. Then it clicked. Not a company, a stage set. Beautiful facade with charismatic lead, Alex. UI he'd shown on tablet? Mock-ups, digital costume. No engine, no product, modern Ponzi. Used my seed to fake thriving biz. Lure bigger fish. Their money wouldn't build either. Fun lusher life, slicker act. Island trip truth dawned. Not celebrating win, desperate performance. Company dry. My 750 gone. On exposure's edge. Jet bash, champagne, confident laughs in that photo. All last gasp gamble. Cornered animal staging final show to snag fresh prey before traps snapped. So consumed by survival, desperate to sustain lie. His wife, broken in a bed kilometers away, became inconvenient distraction. Closed eyes a moment, full ugly truth settling. Not bad husband, parasite. Latched to Sophia, her faith, my cash, draining life from both. Looked at her, chest rising falling to machine rhythm. Fighting for life while her protector was the disease threatening all. Had the citrep now. Knew with absolute chill certainty the cure was excision. Complete. Analysis hours done. Proof hunt over. Now came quiet forging of weapons. On screen, watched Ellis's cursor dance through legals with lifetime precision. Grim satisfaction, like seeing a armorer hone perfect blades. This wouldn't be messy emotional suit dragging years. Draining us, reopening wounds. What Alex'd expect. Lesser man's move. Ours different. Swift, surgical strike. Ellis finished first doc. Formal default notice and acceleration. Not request, declaration. Plain brutal language cited clauses Alex breached. Fraudulent fin misrep. Corp funds for personal. Due to violations, full 750 plus interest due immediately. Single page like financial guillotine. Alex built at signing. We pulled lever. Second doc, lien and asset seizure petition. The cage, since secured, gave court right to freeze all collateral he foolishly listed. His 70% Apex stake, Lumbo trophy. Brokerage account for marketplace. Filing this, world froze instant, escape route sealed. Trapped in his lies burning building, no out. Finally, Ellis crafted third, elegant weapon, anonymous memo. 2-page summary of Apex's true fins, emotion stripped, fact loaded. Detailed inflated rev, hidden liabilities, investor capital misuse. Designed not for judge, for investors Alex wooed on that jet. Sent from untraceable email. Wouldn't ruin him legally, nuke reputation. Make Alex toxic in any funding circle forever. Last doc finalized, PDF secure, ready for my go, silence fell. Only Sophia's heart beep. Shifted gaze from screen's cold light to her warm, still form. Tubes faded. Saw the girl who'd fall asleep on my chest. Fierce protective instinct, older than any uniform, surged. Leaned to laptop mic. He's getting nothing from her, Ellis. Voice whisper, hard as flint. Not her money, insurance, zip. Understood, Colonel, Ellis soft. He won't. Trap set. Weapons loaded. Pieces in place, awaiting single command. Closed laptop. Screen dark. Wait began. All needed now. Target walking into kill zone. Wait had rhythm. Heart monitor beep from Sophia's room. Elevator ding down hall. Nurse's shift change murmurs. 18 hours I sat in that sterile vigil. Sentinel fueled by vending coffee and singular cold purpose. Files primed. Plan solid. Contingencies covered. Hours didn't drag. Felt like countdown's final ticks. Then heard it. Didn't come quiet. Burst of expensive fabric and fake panic. Footsteps echoing corridor. He stormed into wait area. Perfect anguished husband portrait. Hair artfully mussed. $3,000 suit wrinkled like frantic sleepless night. Tie loose at throat like air struggle. Eyes red, bloodshot. If I didn't know better, grief's mark. But details are my trait. Smelled faint sour champagne stink on him. Long party hangover, not vigil. Exhaust real, but actors off long stage, not worried spouse. Rushed nurse's station, voice loud, theatrical for all. My wife, he announced, cracking on cue. Sophia just got messages. Unavoidable meeting. Is she okay? Need to see her, please. Nurse pointed me out. Family wait just outside her ICU. Turned. Composing grief mask for next audience. Strode forward, ready to collapse in empty chair, play sorrow, then saw me. Didn't move, didn't speak, just sat, hands on knees, watched. Saw performance drain from face like unplugged. Rehearsed anguish vanished, raw shock flicker. Mouth lines slackened to gape. Forward momentum halted abrupt, near stumble. Actor found unexpected critic front row, forgot lines. Roberto, he stammered, voice octave lower than nurse's. First name, not sir or father. Dynamic shifted, we weren't family. Adversaries. What are you doing here? Shock curdled to annoyance, irritation. My presence inconvenient fact ruining his script. Bereft husband rushing from vital meat, sympathetic. Facing father-in-law, different. Uninvited character wrecking scene. Looked at wrinkled suit, bloodshot eyes, saw through every layer. Not bad husband, bad actor. Been waiting, Alex, I said. Voice calm, but carrying the weight of those hours in the chair. Tom we talked. Looked at my daughter's husband. Performative grief evaporated, leaving panic residue and resentment. Actor realizing audience knew lines were lies. Didn't raise voice, no need. ICU wait silence was pressure chamber. Words carried immense weight. Alex, I said low even. Need to talk. Private room. Not request. He got it. Glanced Sophia's room, maybe shield or excuse, but saw no gain. Jerked brief nod. Rose, led down hall. Steps only sound, stern rhythmic on polished linoleum. He trailed steps back. Felt his frantic energy, mind whirring for angles, lies. Cornered animal seeking out. Wouldn't find. Stopped at glass-walled conference room. Typed for hard family talks. Pushed door, entered. Room sterile, cold, long table, dozen stiff chairs. Far wall, big TV on. Screen, life-size, composed in distant wood-paneled office. Ellis sat. Alex froze doorway. Stared Ellis's image, face instant pale. Annoyance gone. Pure undiluted fear jolt. Complication unforeseen. Prepped for teary dad clash. Not legal proceeding with 30-year JAG vet. What is this? Voice choked whisper. Conversation, I said, gesturing chair opposite. Sit. Hesitated beat. Then stiff walk to chair, perched edge like bolt ready. Sat across. Ellis's impassive face looming over his shoulder like silent judge. Long moment, said nothing. Let room silence grow, press him. Saw sweat bead forehead. Then pulled phone, set gentle center table between us. Slid across polished till front him. Screen lit, showing jet photo. Bright sun, clouds, his face head back triumphant laugh, champagne high. Leaned forward slight. This your meeting, Alex? One you couldn't leave. Stared photo. Then me, eyes darting. Lies rushed, clumsy desperate. Roberto, gotta understand. That pic's not whole story. Final moment, handshake with Asian VCs. 500 mil deal for company. For Sophia, our future. Phone off, insisted for security. No idea about Sophia till back on ground. Swear, came fast as could. Good liar. Infused voice, right desperate sincerity. Held my eyes, selling act. Let him finish. Let him lay all cards. False alibis, justifications. Build defense on one flimsy lie foundation. Then lifted phone. Solid story, Alex, detailed. Issues the data. Tapped screen. Smartphone pics, embed timestamp in file. Metadata. This snapped yesterday. 16:15 local. Slid single paper from folder beside. Dr. Moreau's prelim report. See entry time top. Emergency craniotomy relieving catastrophic brain pressure started 16:30. Leaned back, hands folded table. Clarify timeline. While surgeons drilled your wife's skull to save her, you were midair popping bubbly celebrating non-existent deal. Accurate sitrep? Color drained face. Story gone. Excuses gone. Left raw, ugly, irrefutable truth. Mouth open closed, no sound. Entrepreneur mask, loving husband, not cracked. Disintegrated to dust, revealing hollow, pathetic man beneath. Stared, eyes wide with terror of being seen truly, completely. Alex's face wreckage of shattered confidence. Jet party lies collapsed. Exposed con in spotlight. Tried rally, find angle, act to salvage. Puffed chest, pathetic authority grab. What is this, Roberto? Sneer, voice thin brittle. Interrogation? No right to question me. Her husband. Before reply, calm clear voice filled room. From big screen, Ellis hands clasped, expression blank. On contrary, Mr. Alex. Not debate, this notification. Like Q, reach go bag, pulled thick leather-bound folder. Slid table, landed front him soft final thud. My local contact delivered hour ago. Think you'll want review. Alex eyed folder like venomous snake. Hesitant, opened. Inside, top nested single sheet. Ellis's voice continued screen, precise, relentless. What you're viewing, Mr. Alex. Default notice and payment acceleration. 10 months back, Colonel provided $750K. You've called it investment. Wasn't. Secured convertible loan, terms you signed. Alex's eyes scanned page, breath shallow. As established, Ellis on, and documented via your expense reports, violated multiple clauses. Specifically Section 4 accurate truthful company fins. Section 5 using loaned capital for intended biz. Not personal debt payoff and luxury entertainment funding. Alex looked up, face confusion mask. What's this mean? Means, Ellis zero sympathy. Due to breaches lender Colonel exercises acceleration right. Full amount plus accrued, interest due payable. Immediate effect. Alex barked short, incredulous laugh. Insane. Don't have that cash. Company doesn't. Aware, I said, speaking first minutes. Which Y review second doc folder. Trembling fingers flipped page, revealing court filing. Lien embargo, Ellis explained, buzz steady impassive. Non-payment triggers collateral clause. This morning filed lien all assets listed agreement. Includes 70% apex majority. Includes current year Lamborghini your name. Includes full brokerage account contents. All now frozen. All now Colonel's legal property for liquidation debt cover. Words reality sank. Saw Alex's mind process. Company, car, stocks, gone. Single sentence, net worth zero. Personally bankrupt. But not done. Then your pro rep, Alex. Leaned forward. What's left? Eyes hollow. Approximately hour ago, I continued. Just before gracing us. Ellis's office sent anonymous, but detailed memo to SEC. Also, private emails every potential investor. You wind on that jet. Contained full factual apex accounting fraud analysis. Your expense reports copies. He fumbled phone, thumb frantic swipe. Saw notifications flood, panic cascade. Email subjects flashed, urgent merger off. Re-apex finances. Dozen texts from yesterday's laugh mates. Tones furious, demanding answers. Not lost deal, professionally executed. No longer tech visionary, pariah. Then he broke. Cornered beast, nothing left. Slammed hand table, face twisted pure rage. Can't take everything, roared voice cracking. Still have house. House hours, Sophia's. She'd never let you. Let small cold smile touch lips. Ah, house. Soft, like minor detail near forgot. See, Alex, my line you advise protecting key assets from liability. Daughter's most valuable client ever. When you married, gave advice. House Maria and I bought her stays. Sole property, legally shielded from your ventures. Simple premarital asset December. Paused, let final words land physical blow. That house. Alex, never yours. Deeds one name, not yours. That shattered him. 3 layers. Personal fins, Pro-career. Marital assets, systematically stripped in under 10 mics. Stared, mouth agape, mind grasping total inescapable ruin. Looked papers, Ellis screamy. No escape, no con, nothing. Throat sound escaped, raw guttural, not word not scream. Bolted up, sweeping folder phone off table plastic paper crash. You did this, shrieked hysteria torn. You old bastard planned all along. Ruin me. Lunge table, face incoherent rage mask. But before reach, conference door banged open. Two hospital security, alerted yells, stormed in grim professional. Play over, time escort actor off stage. 3 days I lived to machine's cadence. Watched Sophia's steady green heart line. Listened ventilator hiss, learned alarm tones. Worked from stiff chair bedside. Slept in it. Ate bland hospital chow delivered. Waited. Fourth morning. Island sun painting sky orange-pink. Eyelids fluttered. Small motion, near miss, but signal. Docs came, checked responses, tapered sedation. Hours later, breathing own. Eyes opened foggy confused, then slow focus my face. Weak smile touched lips. Dad, whispered dry rasp. Relief wave so strong near buckled knees. Took hand, thumb stroking knuckles. Here, Mija. Right here. Looked room, brow furrowed confusion. Eyes searched corners, empty chair opposite, door. Then back me, question I dreaded since flight book. Where's Alex? Voice small vulnerable. Is he okay? Rehearsed this 100 times. Considered angles. Could lie, say on route, biz tied, spare pain fragile state. But lies debt to truth. Interest devastates. Daughter strong woman made believe weak. Greatest gift now not comfort, clarity. True healing path through truth's harsh landscape. Pulled chair closer, never releasing hand. Sophia, soft as could. You're safe. Gonna be fine, but need hard talk about Alex. Told all. No angry accusatory tone. Laid facts like path stones. 18 hours dark. Arrival, act, lies. When incredulity clouded eyes, new show. Not to hurt. Soft while lifting phone. Because you deserve truth. Need it heal. Showed photo. Jet. Champagne. Triumphant laugh face. Timestamp her life fight moment. Stared image. Breath caught throat. Single tear tracked cheek into hair. No whisper. Must be reason. There is. Told company. Explained Ponzi, stolen cash, lie web around them. No spreadsheets legals yet. Just simple truth. Life with him act funded my money her faith. Denial crumbled. Wave painful understanding like blow. Tears free now. Silent, then deep, soul-shaking sobs. Cried man she thought loved. Betrayal. But holding hand listening. Realized more. Cried self. How so blind? Said between sobs. Signs there, spending excuses. How stupid. Not stupid, firm. Grip tightened. Trusting. Loyal. Loved him. He exploited. His failure, Sophia, not yours. Cried long. Sat with her, quiet solid presence in old life's wreckage. Terrible agonizing moment, absolutely vital. Poison draining, life fever breaking. Wound long hidden open to clean antiseptic air. For first time long, daughter's true healing could begin. Confrontation conference storm. What followed quiet methodical debris clear. Alex vanished. After hospital escort, checked out hotel. Ghosted, left digital financial specter. Ignored lawyers, bank, other conned investors. Evaporated, coward dodging consequences his world. Left angry email blizzard, looming suits. Mess no longer mine. Mine quiet rebuild work. From Sophia bedside chair turned hospital room remote. CP. Ellis perpetual video from office. Began untangling Alex's fin web. Work my life, but never so personal. Each signed doc, liquidated asset, restoration act. First go, Lumbo. Ellis contacts arranged tow from airport lot, auction sale. Proceeds to escrow account we set. Next liquidated brokerage, sold stocks bought with unowned money. Apex shares worthless digital certs for ghost company. Seized assets no windfall, just scraps from original loan, salvage sunk ship. First bill paid, hospital. Staggering sum, testament skill resources pulling Sophia back. Directed Ellis, full transfer same day. Quiet, deep satisfaction act. Money Alex grift through lies now paid negligence's toll. Vanity, healing, ego ignored wounds. First step order restore, scales balance. What remained liquidated no small sum. Enough tempt some, but money never mine. Wrote off original $750 loss signing check. Price for her perceived joy. Recovered funds hers. Restitution stolen. Ellis guidance used set irrevocable trust Sophia's name. Finn Fortress crafted all skill foresight I had. Terms simple. Assets hers control. For recovery, new life. Own biz start. But principle shielded. Legal rock layers untouchable future. Mauricio creditors or any man exploiting kindness. Not giving money. Restoring security Alex systematically stole. Tried build wall around her once. Hope faith in husband. Crumbled on lie foundation. This time building myself. Not hope. Legal steel Finn concrete. Not vengeance Alex. Vengeance emotional chaos. Disorder act. Father spotting defense breach. Methodically silently repairing wall. 6 months later. Antiseptic smell swapped for clean pine tang. Mountains guarding cabin. Hospital machine frenzy, distant echo. Now soft pencil scratch paper. Wind murmur through patio trees. Sat back porch. Warm coffee mug hands. Watch daughter. Sophia at patio table opposite. Big sketchpad knee propped. Hair regrown soft dark. Haunted fragile eyes gone. Replaced focused determined light. Sketching hand confident renewed. Designing sustainable community center. First. Project her own architecture. Firm building solo. Not just recovered, remade. Stronger, wiser, quiet resilience unseen since little girl. Looked up work, caught staring, small genuine smile lips. What you looking at? Best investment ever made. Both knew not money talk. Smiled again, back sketch. That quiet comfortable moment, watching create new from past. Ruins, full last 6 months meaning settled. Chaos swapped solid quiet order. My risk management world, spend lives assessing threats protect assets. 40 years shielding corp assets, but learned career's biggest. Lesson Island Hospital sterile room. Watching daughter sleep. Greatest risk, not money loss. Misplaced trust. Money recoverable. Building rebuildable, but trust shattered leaves poisoning wound. Best insurance that risk, only true work, is truth. No matter brutal painful. Truth hard medicine, soul cure lies sickness. Look daughter, face afternoon sunlit. Pride wave deep near ache. Didn't ruin man, not vengeance hate. Did always done. Assessed catastrophic risk most valuable asset. Took steps neutralize. Alex liability written off. Didn't destroy, handed bill own choices. Story reveals core truth. Greatest vulnerability not balance sheet. Misplaced trust. Once thought protect family mean keep peace. Even ignore painful realities. Learn true protection demands clarity, not comfort. Needs courage face deceit head on. Use truth accountability tools restore order. Not revenge story, justice lesson. Shows all strength defend truly valuable from those understanding only price. If believe true strength measured courage protect loved. Show support liking video. Subscribing, sharing thoughts comments below.